was just going to finish reading that Ranger thing, but you guys can read it on your own. It's not a big deal. So this last video is spells, which can be intimidating, but I love spells. It's way more versatile, and it's really a lot of fun. Okay, so part 4, finding paths. So for spells, the biggest thing you need to know right away is that they do not penalize you for being a spellcaster, which in the previous games, I always felt like when you were a spellcaster, you didn't know if I did a ranged touch or a touch attack. Am I adding my base attack? Am I adding my proficiency? In this, it's very clear you add your proficiency. And it says that on like the first page of your class, what your proficiency is. I think all spellcasters are proficient or they are trained in it. So at first level, you would go ahead and get a 3 for your proficiency and then add your key ability modifier, your spell ability modifier. For a cleric, which is the one we're going to do for this part, even though we were just doing a ranger, it's wisdom. So whatever your wisdom modifier is. Okay? And then, of course, your spell DC is right here. So the nice thing is as you level up, your spell attack roll goes up, just like a fighter. And your spell DC goes up. So it's really nice. You're not penalized for being a spellcaster. Okay? There are a lot of things that are similar. You still have cantrips, which is kind of nice. You still have things like spell slots. Okay? That's very similar. There are a couple more rules with like cantrips, which I can talk to you guys individually about. Like your cantrips actually get stronger automatically, which is kind of cool. The only new magic traditions are primal and occult. You get those right away. I think those were in like the advanced player's guide in the first edition of Pathfinder. And of course, still prepared and spontaneous. If you're like a wizard or a cleric, you are prepared. If you're a sorcerer or I think something else, I think a bard maybe, you are spontaneous. Okay. So now, I want to walk you. So over here, the nice thing is they make this a little easier about the different. I always confuse like spells known, how many you can cast. They make it a little easier right here, where for like wizards and clerics, you can read more, but I think they're all that everyone starts off with 5 cantrips, and you get 2 spells. Okay, there are a couple like feats in there that say, "Oh, you get an additional spell" or something like that. For the most part, look on this chart for every spell caster, and it's basically it. They mostly say it like right here, in their spell casting stuff. Okay, so now I want to get into actually casting spells. And how they affect like your ability attack modifier. So you guys have probably heard of like chill touch, pretty common one. You'll notice on here how it says attack. Any spell that has that thing on there means it does contribute to your multiple attack penalty, but it does kind of even out the game a little bit. So what it basically does is you would do chill touch on someone, and then it does all this crap here. And then you would attack. That attack where you do like a hit with like a sword takes a -5 penalty or your multiple attack penalty. But let's do Burning Hands. Notice how there's no attack icon or trait right up here. You don't do multiple attack penalty if you do a second attack. So you do 2 actions to Burning Hands. You only get 3 actions in a turn. Your third action is a strike. There's no penalty with that, which is super nice. So you can do a lot of damage with no penalties. Now, the last thing you get to go ahead and do is something called a focus pool, which is basically a marriage between like a cantrip, you can cast it all the time, to a spell level where it's powerful, but you can only cast it a limited number of time. And this is all on chapter 7. So if you wanted to go ahead and find the rules, it's on chapter 7. Okay. What you can do with a focus spell is notice how here the number is the level that it's at. Anytime you cast a focus spell, it costs 1 focus point. For the most part, I think every class, you have to read up more, gets 1 focus point. But the way you regain it is and it's on chapter 7, is called refocusing. And it costs 10 minutes to do it.